Good day, everyone. My name is Great as I am from Anambra State, and this is the PLAC podcast series. This podcast is sponsored by the European Union under the European Union Support to Democratic Governance in Nigeria, EU SDGM 2 program. And today we'll be looking at understanding the Special Seats Bill. With me here.
Hi everyone, my name is Queenette Antonioni. I'm from River State. I'm really glad to be here.
Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Praise God Adesoji. I'm from Oyo State and thank you very much for the privilege.
Hello again, my name is Paul Devlon from Flatster State and I'm happy to be here.
Okay, everyone, welcome. I'm glad to start. So we have very sweet questions today. The first one is, what do you understand by the Special Seats Bill?
To me first.
Yes, anybody.
Okay, first of all, I will say that I am not intimidated because I am the only woman here. So on the honor of women, I hope to do you proud.
Okay, all right.
So for me, the Special Seats Bill simply is a legislative bill that ensures that women have fair representation and opportunity to sit on the table of, governance, decision making, and politics. So for me, if you ask me, Nigeria has 50% of the population of Nigeria are women, and then we have less than 5% of representation. No be juju with that.
Okay.
Give us the chance to, we're not even asking for equality because we might not necessarily get that, but we want this Special Seats Bill to allow more women flood in so that we can have, a fair sense of representation. So for me, this is what the bill is about.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Praise God, what do you have to say?
Yes, so I think Nigeria is already ripe, or even overripe for this. And the bill is currently at the second reading at the National Assembly. But I think this is even the perfect time because you can see that there's already a global call, a global concern for like women in politics, women in the representation and their policy making too. And then we can see this even in some other countries. For example, Rwanda, just close by us, has almost 65% women representative. And then in Nigeria, we just have 4%. Just 4% in the Senate. We just have 4 women in the House of Rep. I think just 16. So I think this is the perfect time to even be discussing this.
Okay, statistics aside, right? Yeah. Let's look at, you mentioned Rwanda. Look at Rwanda. The demographics in Rwanda is very different from Nigeria. For instance, now the population is largely literate. That's one thing. We also have to look at the fact that they're almost homogeneous. So the difference between the people maybe up north, not so much or down south. Nigeria is a special situation. Nigeria is as large as France and Italy put together, and the cultures are diverse. Now, you said it's the right time. Why would you say now is the right time? You have a very largely illiterate population. Even among educated people, we still have bias against women. So, why would you say that now is the best time to? Why can't we not wait for a more, a time more people are more open to women representation?
Okay, yeah, so should I go? So you made Okay, before I come up, so you made a very important question. For example, you see that, let me give an instance, in Saudi Arabia now, or in the UAE, United Arab Emirates, you have like a largely dominant Muslim population. But currently, because of the Sheikh, the Prince Sheikh Al-Fasi, now they have almost 50% representation in parliament. So one thing I would just say is that we have developed countries because developed minds were allowed to power. So not necessarily the number of people or the demography, but because like developed minds. And then, for example, she mentioned that we have almost 50% of Nigerian population as females. And yeah, these people do not get like a seat in power. There's no representation. There's nobody to stand up and then speak for them too. So, and with everything going on in the country, I really believe that we need their voice to count. This is actually the time to. So it's not a matter of whether demography or culture or this or that. We just have developed countries because development will allow.
So you're trying to say that the men that are currently there are not doing what can women do that is so special?
Women are better managers than men. If you look at the law profession, for instance, we have more women, in the law profession than with it. So you can't say the level of education. We have educated women in Nigeria. We have competent women. You can see the likes of Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, of course, making Nigeria proud. Eze Ekwesili, and a whole lot of them that are out there here. So we have the good number of women in Nigeria making us proud. So why don't we give them an opportunity in policy making, the legislature to, bring their knowledge, their, skills to bear, that aspect of the nation.
Sorry, can I answer that question? You asked why now? So my question about you is why not now? So let me break down the things you mentioned. The fact that we have some biases. That's okay. if you say that we have largely illiterate, populace, I would say fine. Okay, even before education, formal education came, there was informal education. So whatever the case is, if we need to break down this concept, we can find a way to, even if it's a pidgin language, to drive this topic down so that even the most illiterate person can understand it. Because for me, if you ask me, it's an answered prayer. You don't know the hope you would give to a little girl in the village to see that she has someone that is modeling like a picture of what she can become, that she has a chance to give off what's, just to be somebody in future. Because if that's one of the things I'm even canvassing for. I did not have I feel like that's the easiest way to learn, when you have a model by observation. So when you see more women there on the seat of decision making, you see more women, in the legislative wing, if for lack of a better word, it just helps. So let me answer about why not now. Why now, right?
Yes, why not?
Yes, I hope I'm mixing. Why now? I think it's a perfect time. You cannot, if you want to, do structural change, if you want change to be gone, if you say you want to push it for when people are ready or more enlightened, you wait for the next 50 years. I believe that change happens when we take small intentional steps. If you want to grow a forest, you have to start by planting a seed, and then you keep watering it. Sunshine, so many fun.
You're saying a lot actually. And this thing actually brings us to the point. This special seat view is just for 4 election cycles. Yeah. Now, at the end of this, what would you now say is the way that women can fool themselves that this thing should be sustained? Because if we don't see something magical within the next 4 years, within the next 60 years or the following ones, what was the justification of the bill?
So you cannot shoot it now. Just give us a chance. I feel like the selection process should be based on competence, credibility, and expertise, for me, if you ask me. Because you're not just bringing women that don't know what they can do. We're not bringing women to be bench warmers. You're not even doing us a favor by saying we should come and join. We're saying that the selection process should be thorough, and then competent people should be brought forth. Let the best person get it. And then, of course, these 4 election cycles they're talking about, there has to be some form of review, adjusting here and there. But, that question is making me feel like you don't even want this view to be passed. But I'm saying that let's just give it a chance. And then, of course, things will be put in place to see that it is worth it. And, we see the fruits of.
Before I throw it to the only party man that we have here, I need first of all exonerate myself. I have a problem with it. People are going to ask, what are we going to get out of it? If Nigeria is not transformed, like within those 60 years, people will have serious questions that they're asking.
Except you're telling me that you want a female president, and men will still be involved. So you will not just say men will take the back seat because now women is your.
Women is community.
It's partnership.
Community.
Yes, come on to do your colleagues.
1% increase, sorry. The national budget, and to just say 1%, but that's what they had to do for health. So they had to add 1%, easily 1% of the health budget, of the budget to go to health. Now 1% is a lot actually. So we have to see dividends, and I'm sure people will ask the question,
let us cut down on some other things. Yes. Let us cut down just some irrelevant things that we can cut down. So
one thing I can tell you is that in the next 16 years, should this bill come to be, you will see tremendous things. I just want to believe that women have something to offer. In fact, they have a lot to offer. I want to see that by 2027, should this bill come to pass, a change even in the electoral processes, like in the electioneering season, the campaigns, the primaries. I'm sure it's going to be an interesting time. I can assure you that, because women have a way of changing how everything is done. Like she mentioned, it is not saying that men are taking the back seat. So it is expected that the assembly itself should be, but I'm sure women will propel, the men in the house, should they get in, to, give a very good a change to the system.
Okay, sure that goes. So now, Paul, I believe you're a member of APC, well? Yes. So I want to ask you a question now. How will women, get there through your party? Like, how will your party see or ensure that the right women get there actually? Because we have a problem with meritocracy in Nigeria. So are there any structures? Are you just going to have party women or people that have been career positions just suddenly be pushed there? Oh, because I joined the party when I was 18 years old.
I believe that women should jump into the mud and play the game as it is.
Okay.
Yes. So
But the more
And we have the women that are ready to do that. In fact, they've been doing that for men. How much more will they do for themselves now that they will be in position to contest?
another issue that we're looking at now is the fact that there might likely be a change in the way that things are, in the sense that with the new additional seats. So this is how the special seats bill is going to work. They'll add 1 seat. Yeah, that is out of the best table CF for the Senate. Then same thing for the House of Reps. Excuse me, for the House of Reps. That is for the defense districts and no, not for the House of Reps, but just 3 seats. And then at the state houses of assembly, they'll also add more seats for the women as well. Now, how are we going to prevent a situation where women will be relegated solely to the special seats? Because this is a party something. As the way that Nigeria wants, is a candidate. So, what's to stop people from saying, since women have a special seat reserved for them, why should they now run for the regular seats?
But it still boils down to the women, because of course, like I said, they will need to jump onto the mode. Regardless of whatever anybody would say, the Constitution allows them to contest, for the general seats, and then they have the reserve day. In fact, the men should be more worried because, of course, women are coming to give them a good run for their money. So I think women are ready to give it that. But regardless of whatever anybody would say, women should be ready, to play the game as it is.
And then I actually think that you should give them a chance. And then for example, we see the way if something has been running this way, Nigeria has been like this. And then how would Nigeria be like in the next 16 years if they are not given a chance to even prove themselves? For instance, I've gone to around 25 states in Nigeria, and then I was in an African country recently, and then the person was telling me, praise God, he said if Nigeria should sneeze, the rest of the Africa, we actually feel it. So literally, if it can actually start from here, the change can actually spread across the place. So I'm just saying that if you give them a chance, let them prove themselves. So they're not fairness, there's no equality. So you talk about 96% and then just 4%. There's no way by which they can compete favorably. But if you at least bring them up, bring them to par, and then you'll be able to see that, okay, this is, for example, in New Zealand, we see that I think the Prime Minister, Jacinda Ardern, she was a female, 37 years. She was even pregnant in office. And yet, New Zealand is one of the most developed countries in the world. So it shows you that actually it's not a matter of, women are also smart. It's not a matter of, okay, your gender, yeah, thank you. It's that, okay, they also have things to offer. To go around Nigeria, you see that there are smart people. There is a certain set of people that are very smart. And then if you give them chances at the National Assembly and then even at the House of Reps, they can literally change things. And say that if Nigeria continues on this trajectory, it's possible that the country will still be exactly where it is, or even worse. But if something has been going this way, and then can we try another avenues? Can we give them a chance and then let's sing their 8 pills? And then I'm sure that it country will do better.
Okay, so let me just add to what else. For me, the fear tugging behind my mind is when we get, I don't want to say if, when we get this special seats bill, just the way party politics is being done, my fear is won't we be blocked from contesting for the regular seats? Yes. I'm hoping that would not be the case, because it will mean that we've taken 10 steps forward and 100 steps backward. So because I think that's the question you're trying to answer. So I'm saying that we should also add this clause and make it loud that we're not saying that you cannot contest for the regular seats as well, because it's okay. And then all the party chairmen should hear that because that would be against the constitutional rights of every woman if you're saying that because we've settled you in court with the special seats, they cannot contest for the regular seat. It will not be fair, it will not be balanced at all.
No, the issue is not necessarily what can be done. The issue is what is obtainable. Okay. So let's look at it this way. Nigeria's electoral system is unique. It's different from all these countries that we've mentioned, Rwanda, New Zealand, and West. Now, what happens is this. It's more like candidate based. The person comes out and the party votes him at the primaries. Now, the issue is this now. Even if women do come out, the voters might just reason it out. And the truth of the matter is that men are very much entrenched in the political system as it is. They don't want anybody coming for their seats. So now we're looking at this way. In what way can we now also remedy the electoral system that we currently have so that we can have a more representative system, one that allows easily for representation, people like quotas and the rest. Because we're running a situation of candidates. Why can't we run a situation of where parties, maybe at the elections, the party means like 50% of the votes. The party will now be given 50% of the seats, and they'll be like, okay, inside this amount of seats, maybe 30% must go to women, that kind of thing and the rest. So we're looking at the fact that our own situation now does not really allow for that participation. What chances do we have of enabling proper women participation outside of the reserved seat pay with the current system, electoral system?
All right. So the beauty of Nigeria, or the beauty of this country, is that we run a very patriarchal system. So patriarchal is a man's thing, especially like when male dominated. So especially when it comes to politics too. And then you see that there's also the aspect of political will. So you get like men will actually always support men. That's why you see that some people are actually still opposing this bill. Like if you see that reason, it's not a bad thing actually. Just give them a time, maybe like 4 10 years, and then let's just wait and see. But some people are still saying no, because it's patriarchal. So one thing that they lack is, number one, is support. So you give them the adequate support. Let's see what can be done. And then also, like you said, like zoning, for example, across political parties to APC, like you said, APC, before you can have like a senatorial candidate or maybe at the presidential level, if you don't necessarily put in structures, for example, maybe 20% of this seats goes to women or 10%. So imagine all across all the political parties in Nigeria, we can implement this. Even at the House of Assembly, we can implement like quota systems. Quota systems is not based on meritocracy, that okay, they do merit it or not. It's just fairness. It's just equity. It's that okay, these people too, they've not been given a chance to prove themselves. Should be the only ones we've been seeing are those men, at least in the last 60 years. But okay, how many women have we actually seen? Can we just give them like maybe a 10 years, 2 10 years? Let's see what they can bring to the table. Let's see the value. So it's something that is very gradual. This bill is not something that you just jump in 4 years or 8 years or so. It's something that will take time. But if you give them like a 10 years, 2 10 years, and then they're able to prove themselves, it will open the system to receiving them. And then even in the longer term, you can have people as I don't think we've ever had a female vice president, for instance. I don't know who in the group. So, but I know that's something gradual, but the more we move, it will open the system that, okay, you can have a female Senate president, which may not be bad, but right now we are not yet open to it because there's still a lot of political will, a lot of patriots, but they need support and they need equity and fairness.
Okay, to add to what he has said, I believe that the reason why people fight against change is when they don't have a clear understanding of what we're trying to, impose on them, for lack of a better word. So I feel like if a lot is done in explaining the why behind the bill, no matter how close-minded people might seem to be, if they have adequate information about what this bill is intended for, I feel like a lot more people would open their minds to the possibility of bringing more women in. So for me, I just want to canvass for more awareness, more information, flooding, just bring it at faces of the people and break down this information to the simplest way possible that people can understand it and not fight against it, because they'll fight against what they don't understand.
Yeah, definitely. Technically. You see, Bob, as because another action now, looking at the way that Nigeria has been going, remember we looked at the differences between representation and leadership. Is it really necessary? Based on the fact that women can also lead from other aspects, they don't necessarily have to be there. So, what can we now say is the real importance aside representation, aside just putting them there as placeholders?
That's the thing, just a placeholder. That's the right word to use.
No, I get. I'm sorry for that word. My point is, my point is this now. They're giving 37 new seats. That's not beans now. It's 37 new seats, especially just for women. No, this is a matter of representation.
Yes.
So, if we're arguing I want more women leaders, we see women leaders everywhere. We see women leaders in the private sector, in the educational sector. We see them everywhere. Why is it so important for representation? Why can't we just be content with leaving things the way they are and then watching women leaders spout out naturally?
No, and that's the problem.
Exactly.
That's the problem, because if we have women doing good in the banking sector, we have women doing good, in the law firms and all of these other aspects of our economy, why not the legislature?
But those women got there organically. They did not get it because we're just giving.
That's the thing. We're seeing this special seat as a token, and that's what we're saying. It is not a token. You didn't just give me.
Yeah, they just did it.
You know, but kids don't have to do the same for this voted for. They have to be elected, but they have to do campaign.
And say you actually like elect people that are capable. Yeah.
We're not even sure. We're not even. I'm not finished electing capable men.
But all that actually there are women that can perform. There are women that can actually like do legislative proceedings with excellently well. Why not give them a chance? Hey, yeah.
But you currently have a chance.
How many?
That is how is the chance? There are 100 and how many seats there?
109.
They have the chance. Chance is not balanced.
Balance, if we keep doing this line, your presentation is at the forefront of this thing. If we are more, we need more women. If we make up over 50% of the populace, just allow us to come and show that we can do the work. Just as I'm not a feminist, but I'm a humanist.
Okay.
So you know, a humanist, I'm canvassing and I'm fighting for equity and fairness. Not because I'm a woman, people should just give me now and just settle me. No, it takes away credibility from me. It takes away competence. It takes away capability. It takes away what's the word? You can help me because I know you're supporting me. But I'm just saying that let's not see this as a favor being done to women. See it as the best way to move forward as a country. Allowing men and women who are able to do the job to be brought forth.
It's more like leveling the ground there. You understand? We just want to level the ground for women. Since it has been mentioned here severally that it's like a man's war, especially in Nigeria. So why not level the ground? Let's give them the opportunity. You've seen what they can do in other places, and we've been trying to do this thing as men in Nigeria, especially in fact, almost all the assemblies that are becoming from first to we're in the 10th assembly. Some things are just redundant, done the same way over and over again. And we see these women doing better things in other aspects of the economy.
But we don't see it as an ideological issue.
Well, it not necessarily, because the idea behind giving this bill is not necessarily because we want women to compete with men. We want women to contribute to nation building, to the political sphere of Nigeria and all of that. So it's, whatever your idea is about our women representation, I think you should pocket it.
So open it up for collaboration and partnership. The country will work better that way.
And then when you even talk about representation, you need people to voice out and then speak for themselves. So when you have 104 males and there 4 represents 105 males and just four we boss that representation. How is that? So number one, that's not equity. Number two, that's not fairness is not there too, because you need people. It's only women that can actually understand what women need to. So you need representation. People that, for example, you see the state of your country now, you can see in our place, even if you go to the north, most of them don't go to school. No matter how much the men want to canvass for it, women understand what it means for their fellow women to be educated. They know the importance, they know what goes through them, hygiene and all too. So we need people that actually have the milk of compassion and then can speak and canvass for other women.
Milk of compassion.
Yeah, milk of compassion. That's it. To be 100% that part. Okay, milk of compassion, that's it. Because they saw that there was a lot of corruption too in their own system, and then they noticed that the men permit to say very easy to we can just come together and say let's do this. So then I said let's introduce a milk of compassion, women that can counterbalance this. Even if the male population are saying this, women can say no, I have a child at home, I have daughters I understand what people are going through. No, I cannot do that. So that's why they also brought in this women requirement, and then sincerely it's really working for them.
Okay. That's lovely, Diesel. I think the statistics are in favor of more women representation. I think across the board you will see improvements in transparency and accountability. These things are lovely. I want to have them in Nigeria as well. Because the issue is, it's not just enough to be transparent. We have to be more accountable.
Yes, true.
So we need more. We should encourage it. It seems to be something that we're lacking. Why don't we not try something new and see how we can bring more women into the system? So with this, I don't even know if anyone has any last words to train.
Okay, for me, I feel like this special seats view is an answered prayer, and for every woman out there, and it should be encouraged. I'm really looking forward to the bill being passed, and I want to assure you, because I'm speaking for River here, that when you give us a chance, we'll be able to deliver on our competence and on the level of expertise and every plus that we bring to the table as women. Thank you.
Yes, for me, I think I would love to call on every right-thinking man, of course, to starting with you. We give your support to the special seat for women, especially, of course, our senators and members, House of Assembly, and all of that, representative. They should give their support to the bill so that we see it come. And I can assure you, even though I'm not speaking for the women, but I am speaking for the women.
Okay, yeah. It's like, good. Let me explain myself again. I don't have a problem with it, but I'm asking the questions that Nigerians want are asking. It doesn't do it. Yeah, that's it.
So I think in closing, I'll just say this bill, number one, I'll say is a step in the right direction. That's like number one. And then number two, like Bill Clinton came to Nigeria when he was president, said, give me half of Nigeria and I will feed the world. I'll transform the world. Just give me half. You people don't know how to like implement your stuff. Just give me half of this world and I'll change the world. So I really believe that we have potentials, but nobody is potentials. You need reality. So you need like things, actions on ground too. So I'll just say it's a step in the right direction. And then lastly, I'll say we need policy reforms too. Policy reforms to ensure that okay, there's equal representation, there's equal voices are into it.
Okay. My own final one. So I think this is a lovely bill. I think there are a lot of questions, and I believe it's going to be in the worst of the battle has already been fought actually. But we still need more support for it. I don't believe that neglecting over half of the population, it's just a matter that you can't see things. No matter, even if your mom was pregnant or your sisters are pregnant, you can't still understand what pregnancy is because you've not gone through it yourself. So there is a unique perspective that bringing women into governance is definitely going to give Nigeria. And I do believe that it's time for that change now. So if you have further questions, please, you can always ask them. PLAC has platforms that you can ask questions and you can be clarified on the need for this bill. So that aside, I want to close now, and I want to thank my guests for being here. And Mr. Paul, Dr. Pace, and Queen Nets. Thank you so much. My name is Great Isaiah, and to declare, I am not anti-women, please.
Message here. Okay.
Okay, so please join me on the conversation, join in on the support for the bill. PLAC has several social media handles. Please showing your support towards seeing this bill become a reality. With that, I'd like to bring an end to today's session. My name is Great Isaiah from Anambra State, and I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you.